We are back live at your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rookie Insurance, www.hssp.cc, sportsjuice.com. I hope you enjoyed those two interviews. That was Don Scott of BCN, Boxing Collectors News. You can go on to boxingcollectors.com. That's www.boxingcollectors.com, and get yourself a subscription to that. It's only $24 for an entire year. I subscribe. I have for about 6, 7 years now at this point. Anything having to do with Boxing Collectors, recent and stuff of the past. It's awesome.
Now, do they tell you when they have guys out signing or things like that?
They do not discuss signings because boxing signings are so rare. It's not that type of publication. It goes into the history of. They really focus on a particular fighter, and then we'll go through, like they'll put a fighter on the cover, and then inside is a big long 2 or 4 page story on that fighter and what memorabilia is out there on that fighter. So if you go back to the early 1900s, the stuff just looks so cool because it's so rare, and most of it's in can stored anyway. So if you make sure that on the wall or from Hank Kaplan's private stash or whatever. To answer your question, I subscribe. You should too. www.boxingcollectors.com. They haven't paid us to say that. We simply believe in that product. Timmy, if you would, please let our listeners know how our listeners can get in touch with us tonight.
Hotline is open. It is 219-743-9743. Yahoo Instant Messenger is up and running. It is keyword Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, all one word. Or you can send us an email at bolopunchboxinghour@yahoo.com.
Really quick, I want to run through a couple headlines, and then we're going to go through all the fights that happened over this past week. Mayweather-Hatton pay-per-view turns out to be a much bigger success than we even thought it was going to be. 850,000 domestic pay-per-view buys.
That number doesn't mean much to me. What does that compare to other fights?
I will show you exactly what that's compared to. Also, $47 million in television revenue.
$47 million, that's pretty good.
$47 million. If that's speaking a little better English to you.
I'm guessing both these fighters were getting paid. They were expecting $20 million, so the promoters made whatever else off of this. And that's not including the door, that's television.
No, that is just TV. And here's a direct quote right off of ESPN.com. That makes the fight the biggest pay-per-view fight in history that did not involve Oscar De La Hoya or heavyweights Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield. So if you take those 3 fighters out of it, it's the biggest pay-per-view of all time. That's pretty damn impressive if you ask me. These are 2 non-heavyweight guys. Neither of them are Hispanic.
They're saying our sport is dying.
Oh yeah, okay, whatever.
But it's nice to see that Mayweather has finally achieved that superstar status now that people outside the sport are actually ordering the pay-per-views now and going to watch them. It's helping our sport. I think that 24/7 show is the key.
That's money.
Yeah, that's money in HBO's pocket right there.
That's quick money too. Real quick, also welterweight champion Paul Punisher Williams is not going to be fighting against Kermit Cintron, who obviously has injured his hand and arm very badly. He's going to be fighting Puerto Rico's Carlos Quintana, though, they announced the other day. So
it's actually one of the pieces of memorabilia that we have on the Boxing Today list.
One of the guys on that message board on the prize for the... now, I'm not allowed to call it fantasy boxing, even though I believe it is. I'm supposed to call it a prediction league. So... Pete, don't call saying that I bastardized the website, the Boxing Today website. I love that website. I don't want to downplay it at all. I refer to it as fantasy boxing. You're referring to it as a prediction league. It's your website. It's you and Greg's website, so it's a prediction. I stand corrected. But if I want to call it fantasy boxing, I can.
I predict that Quintana's going to lose this fight.
I predict Paul Williams is going to mop the floor with him. And there's a new date for Sam Peter taking on Oleg Moskiev for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. It's been moved to March the 8th. Not that matters a whole lot, but what is important is it's going to be in Cancun, Mexico. Never before has a World Heavyweight Championship been staged in Mexico. They've been having fights in Cancun lately. Big tourist hotspot, so they want to have a sporting event there outside of soccer for people to really clamor around it. Already they're making money hand over fist with all their soccer, but they want to bring some boxing in. They've been doing that for a little while, but now they're bringing some heavyweight championship boxing in, and I can't be more excited about that.
Well, the Mexican fans as well, biggest fans in boxing.
Big time boxing fans.
Which actually tells a little bit bigger story about Mayweather and Hatton, since neither one of them were Hispanic fighters.
Yeah.
That's even a bigger deal because the big part of the draw is the Hispanic fighting.
It is, and I don't think you necessarily have to take them out of the equation as far as that fight, because Ricky Hatton is forward only, which is one of the big feathers in the Hispanic cap.
And he trains a lot with Guerrero. Guerrero actually helps him train, so that probably helps with that.
Plus, he messed over Jose Luis Castillo.
Yeah.
Like, messed him over like it was his job.
It was his job.
Oh, well, that's probably why. I want to give a special thanks out to our buddy Horace for posting part of last week's show on Boxing Science Forum. Is that boxingscienceforum.com? How's that
It's
work?
Boxing Science's website, and it was on their message board, their forum that they have, just like we have Boxing Today as ours. Boxing Science, they have their own forum. We used to have our own. We switched it around and had some guys that were actually willing to run it for us, so they had their own, and we just kind of added it to ours. But,
well, they're not running it for us. They're running it for themselves, and we latched on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's say it out. Yeah.
But yeah,
we're sending them checks or something.
Yeah, well, Boxing Science is an established website.
Yeah.
They got posts on there. There's some great comments on there. I do look at the people that post links on our videos, and that's how I find out this. And thanks, Horace, again for putting it up there. That's so much for being here.
I love that stuff. I have not checked out the comments, but I plan on doing that tonight after we go off the air when I actually get some access.
Well, guys, you guys have mentioned the message board a couple times, the Boxing Today message board, and
there's a serious prize.
We said that we have a serious prize, and well, the rules are finally out, and you got to sign up to actually get on there. You can come up with all the rules that Pete has for this prediction league / fantasy boxing league, as we call it.
It's going to be starting with Paulie Malignaggi. How do you say that?
Herman and Gojo.
Their fight on January 5th.
That's the 5th. That's Friday night. Saturday night is...
I think it's a week later is the Trinidad
and Jones. So we're starting with Herman and Gojo, probably getting stopped, but I actually have him picked as a unanimous decision loss to Paulie Magic Man Malignaggi.
Let's take away from my announcement here by trying to...
Your announcement, the winner of the prediction league.
The winner of the prediction league. I'm gonna let you do the final prize.
Please do.
But what it is every month you have to win a month to actually be eligible for the month of December to win the actual final prize.
You're picking the winners of the fights,
yes,
and it tallies up, and then you have a winner per month.
Winner per month, and you have to win a month to actually be eligible for the December, which is the main prize. The prize for the month of January is actually going to be donated by Pete Perry. It is an 8x10 color photo of Foreman versus Ron Lyle, signed by Ron Lyle.
That Ron Lyle name was right on the tip of my damn tongue.
So you can sign up. You can go to 2008 Prediction League, check out the rules. Pete's got actually a picture that you can click on and actually see the photo.
So what we're going to be doing now is having a prize. Well, what they're going to be doing is having a prize for each month. I say us because you put in the first prize.
It is us. It is us. It's not just them and us anymore. It's all of us. Yes. There's a monthly prize. This photo by Ron Lyle. Ron Lyle is not an easy guy to get to. People are thinking, well, Foreman's in the picture. I'd rather it be signed by Foreman. Actually, it'd probably be easier to get Foreman to sign that photo than it would Ron Lyle. Ron Lyle does not come out to these events very often. He came 1 year to the Hall of Fame, and I got one thing signed by him, and it is buried in my collection. I will never get rid of that, because I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to meet him. This guy also fought Muhammad Ali, gave Ali all he could handle. Lost to Jerry Cooney. I mean, Ron Lyle is no slouch. He was killing in there, and he happened to come in at the time when Frazier, Foreman, and Ali were at the top of their game. So, I mean, a lot of great fighters were in during those days who never became champion of the world. Ernie Shavers is another one. Ernie Shavers, Ron Lyle, Jerry Cooney, either of those three guys put into the heavyweight division right now, you'd be calling them all daddy. You'd be calling them all daddy right now. So anyway, yeah, let's go, Danny Chin.
Let's get to the final prize and then you move on.
Final prize, the main winner, the person that wins the most amount of months, will end up winning the plaque that comes from the podium with Carlos Quintana against Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito fighting Joshua Clottey, signed by all four. and Miguel Cotto signed twice for some odd reason, and photo documentation proving that Cotto in his days were actually there and signed it. But the main prize for not just for winning the most. Not just for winning the most months does not winning the most months does not necessarily mean that you will win the entire big prize. The big prize, the mother of all prizes, is a PSA DNA certified Muhammad Ali autographed Everland's glove in a giant framed piece with framed wire photos along with it. I mean, damn if that's not impressive. You put that on a wall, that's the only thing people are going to see on that wall.
But you got to finish strong. You got to win the month of December. Is what you're saying. But you have to win another month.
You have to win a month to be eligible. So I mean, if you come in second, you know, January through November, you ain't eligible to win the main prize.
So going into the final month, we're going to have 11 guys possible.
Yeah.
Maybe less, because if you win more than 1 month,
right.
you're just
Definitely less. Definitely less.
Oh, because you're going to win more than 1 month. Huh?
I'm winning all the months.
Yeah, I know. I'm winning them all.
Oh, you're winning them all too?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And you're winning them all.
And then I fall off my unicorn. So let's go ahead and of course the link is right on our main page. If you listen to the show, chances are good that you're looking at there.
Special thanks to Greg
Meisinger
for giving that final prize.
and for calling into the hotline to call me cheap.
I do like that.
Love that. Way to go, Greg. Our Texarkana, Texas. Sunday night, Perth, Australia, light heavyweight action. Danny Green wins a 12-round unanimous decision over Stipe Drews. He wins the light heavyweight championship of the world. And this one is posted by Mokeg on YouTube. Green moving on up to 25-4 with 22 knockouts. Drews moves down to 32-2, 13 knockouts.
Yeah, it's on my favorites down there at the bottom. Green looked pretty good in this one. He was actually planning on fighting Tarver here coming up December 1st. Or past the fight, December 1st. He was planning on fighting Tarver and pulled out of that fight because of money situations. Actually landed a fight here and worked out quite nicely with him. Now, he was saying they were messing around with the contracts and all that, and that's why he gave up on that fight. But to me, it just seems like he saw an easier way to get the title here. And he handled Drews throughout this whole fight.
What gets me, I mean, a guy that was so tall,
yeah, 6'4",
obviously, was not. He was reaching down. He took away a God-given gift. He got rid of it. He threw it out the window, and he deserved to lose.
And he got caught early on in this fight and fought back from it, or was it late in this fight? I know he got caught in this fight and ended up coming back and winning it. But
Can you see Nikolai Valoev reaching down to where his head's at 6'1"? I mean, he would deserve to get knocked out if he did that. You got to use what God gives you.
Yeah.
And Stipe Drews wasn't doing that, so that's why he lost.
Yeah, I know he got caught in this fight. I can't remember if it was at the beginning or the end, but still handled it on most of the judges' scorecards there pretty handily, all of them. So.
Speaking of Cancun, Mexico, junior lightweight action, Edwin Valero TKO victory in the 3rd round over Zaid Zabaleta. He retains his junior lightweight championship of the world. Still undefeated, 23-0, 23 knockouts. That is just damn awesome. Zabaleta moving down to 15-3 and 3-11 knockouts.
Yeah, this was on the YouTube page as well. This was Valero's American television debut. He hasn't been on American TV yet. Part of that's because of that motorcycle accident that he had in January of 2004 where he had that head injury. And he's actually not sanctioned to fight in the U.S. yet. Golden Boy's trying to get him released to come over here and fight. And they're looking for a fight coming up here.
Who knows when, but
yeah, they're looking.
They're throwing big names around them.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao is the name that they really want him to fight. Pacquiao, Marquez, or Juan Diaz, any of those guys. With him having that knockout record, is really putting.
That's the selling point right there. 23-0, 23 knockouts. Was
19 of them were in the 1st round.
And it was his first 19.
Yeah, I think it was his first. He might have did 18 and then fought one, and then it was 19. But I'm not sure, but.
At very least, 18 fights in a row, all knockouts in the 1st round. That's badass.
Yeah, he's a hard hitter, a little sloppy. I don't know if he's quite ready for these top guys yet. I mean, he obviously has the punching power, but he does a lot. He does get hit a little bit. And when you get in there with a Manny Pacquiao or Marquez or Juan Diaz, or even David Diaz, yeah, all those guys are hard hitters.
They're all belts.
And Marquez is more of a street fighter as well, so he would probably get hit a little less by Valerio than the other guys. But nonetheless, we're looking on Valerio moving up here and taking on one of those top guys.
Featherweight action, Jorge Linares, knockout in the 8th round over Gamaliel Diaz. He retains his featherweight championship in the world. Linares still undefeated with 16 knockouts, 25 big wins. Diaz moving down to 22-7, 22 knockouts, 9 knockouts.
Yeah, this knockout was this was an impressive knockout. That boxing after dark emblem that you see on HBO so often, that's what this guy Diaz looked like after the fight. Linares handled him pretty well, and this one's also one of my YouTube favorites on the bottom. That well, not the whole fight, but the knockout.
The knockout is, of course. Yeah.
And he's hoping to play with HBO or Showtime, and he's thinking this performance will do it. If anybody from these two networks caught it, they're probably going to put him up there.
Quoting Dan Raphael of ESPN.com, quote, "Here's hoping somebody from HBO or Showtime was watching this performance. If any such people were, they ought to be on the phone right now trying to get this special kid on their network ASAP," end quote. If Dan Raphael thinks that someone is missing, someone in the big picture, someone better sign him quick.
Yeah.
Featherweight action, Naoki Matsuda, TKO victory in the 8th round over Rodolfo Lopez, and this was a title eliminator. Matsuda moving up to 29-7, 3 draws. Lopez moving down to 20-5-1, 14 knockouts. Featherweight action, Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. wins a majority decision over 8 rounds over Jorge Cardenas, 76-76 twice and 77-75 once for Vasquez. That's a draw.
Majority draw, yeah.
That's a majority draw, not a majority decision.
Yeah.
Vasquez still undefeated, 9-0 with 1 draw, 8 knockouts. Cardenas moving down to 9-4-4 with 6 knockouts. Saturday night, Guadalajara, Mexico, junior flyweight action. Ulysses Solis, we love Ulysses Solis. TKO victory in the 9th round over Padawan. He retains the junior flyweight championship of the world. Solis still only 1 loss, 26-1 with 2 draws, 20 knockouts. Padawan 50-7, 34 knockouts.
Yeah, this is, they were actually saying Solis was trying to duck this guy, Padawan, but ends up getting in there and handling pretty well, knocking him out here in the 9th round. And
he likes those late round stoppages.
Yeah,
he got one for us.
He's been busy this year, man. He's put, this is, what is it, 6 defense, but 4 this year?
Yeah.
4 defenses in 1 year. That's a busy year. They're, the 108-pound division here is looking pretty good with Calderon up there as the champ, and then Canaras as the former champ, and then Edgar Sosa. There's a lot of guys at this weight class, and Calderon is the guy that he's looking probably here to fight here shortly.
Junior featherweight action. Fernando Beltran Jr. TKO victory in the 10th round over Jose Arboleda. 30-2-1 with 18 knockouts for Beltran. Arboleda 22-3-1 with 8 knockouts.
Yeah, this was a title eliminator here. He gets to move on here to fight Steve Mahler, and that's going to be coming up here shortly. Let's see, he lost the decision against John Guzman, or Johan Guzman.
Oh, Johan. John Guzman's at home. He's probably in bed.
He spells his name so weird.
Well, he spells it Joan, but it's Johan or Hoan.
In April of 05, but he's rebounded since then, and gets here again, wins the title eliminator.
Saturday night, Edinburgh, Scotland, junior lightweight action. Alex Arthur wins a 12-round unanimous decision over Stephen Foster Jr. He retains his interim junior lightweight championship, 114-111 twice and 113-111 once. Arthur still only 1 loss, 25-1 with 19 knockouts. Foster moving down to 23-2-1 with 16 knockouts. You can find this one on YouTube on MOEKEG. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. This one here, Arthur was picked to win this fight, but he had a little bit more trouble than he was expected here against Foster. Foster pressed him pretty well. Actually, I think he knocked him down late in this fight as well, and gave him a lot more trouble than he was expecting, but he ends up pulling it off and getting the win. Arthur loses Guzman's mandatory here, and if Guzman takes him on, it should be a pretty tough fight. Arthur has some good power and some good boxing skills. They're planning on that fight being on Hopkins Kilzagi in the third.
I could see it because you always want to have strong undercards.
Well, not only that, Arthur it fights under the same promoter as Calzaghe
Yeah.
and Hopkins and obviously Golden Boy are together, and that's who Guzman's with is Golden Boy.
Yeah. And Saturday night in Dublin, Ireland, they make some good fighters over there, including Andy Lee, super middleweight action. Andy Lee gets a TKO victory in the 6th round over Jason McKay. He wins the vacant Irish super middleweight championship. Lee's still undefeated, 14. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he dropped.
I mean, are we really going to see Andy Lee fight John Duddy? I mean, do we really want to see two Irishmen fight? Who are they going to do, and where's it going to be? Let me lock it up for you. It's either going to be in Boston, where no fights ever are, or it's going to be in Dublin.
Yeah, Emmanuel Stewart says that he's ready to fight John Duddy right now if he wanted to get in there, but he's really looking to maybe fight Kelly Pavlik here within the next year.
Why are they so worried about getting two white guys fighting? Why has it got to be like that?
But they're naming these middleweights, and Andy Lee actually steps up here and wins a super middleweight title. I was kind of surprised to see him step up into super middleweight.
He just wants to test and see if he can bang with the guys that can throw a little bit harder.
And obviously he can, but I think he's, like you said, tested against a guy that can hit a ball harder, because the middleweights that he's been fighting can't hit quite as hard as guys like Pavlik and John Duddy. And that's who he's going to be looking here to fight within the next year.
Friday night in Cicero, Illinois. We were there live on this one. Featherweight action, Orlando Salido, TKO victory in the 6th round over Hector Avila.
Yeah, this was actually Salido actually had a belt and had to give it up because he tested positive for steroids. And
either flunked or passed the drug test, depending on how you look at it.
And goes on here to win. He's looking to maybe get a title shot again for that same title, and that's what this was an eliminator, and that's going to earn him this shot. And he looked pretty good out there. If you've seen it,
he sure as hell did. He looked sharp. He looked like a pro fighting an amateur, and Avila has many more fights professionally than Salido does. Avila's just on the end of his rope.
Well, Avila actually, when he got knocked down and they stopped the fight, he was kind of upset. He hopped up and was kind of complaining.
He was wobbly.
Yeah,
it needed to be stopped.
And he had a nice cut over his eye.
Oh, that didn't happen at the end either.
No, yeah, he fought for a few rounds, but there's pictures of him calling the doctor over to check it out.
There were some really great photos from that fight.
They'll be up on our website soon, right, Timmy?
As soon as I get the write-up from Chris Guzman, that's all we're waiting on.
That is not why I said that. I was trying to build up. You're trying to knock down.
Well, Emil was supposed to put a finger at me, and I just had to point it right back at you.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
We're just doing a little swirling. Here pointing around.
And you're bald. Now the circle is complete. All right. Lightweight action, Miguel Angel Huerta, TKO victory in the 3rd round over Daniel Alicea. Talk about a good fight. This Alicea kid took some big, crazy shots, but Huerta was, again, pro versus an amateur is what it looked like.
Yeah,
and again, it was the amateur that I'm calling the amateur had more fights than the pro.
Yeah, that's what actually when what's your buddy that was sitting there ringside with you?
Joe Peterson.
Joe Peterson? That was
Joe Harrison.
Joe Harrison. Yeah, that's I was like Peterson. Joe Harrison. Yeah, he was looking at the records and he's like, "Is this right?" Because the guy actually had a slightly better record than the guy that won, Hertha. But Hertha is the guy that, as you've seen, a lot of people seen that fight with Kid Diamond and thought he got robbed. And
I've seen that fight. Almazbek Ramnikulov. That was back on June 14th. It was an absolute robbery. It was highway robbery. But even Kid Diamond knows that was robbery, so he's not talking about that fight. And some other news from that event. That was a big, long night of fights.
Yeah, I mean, this whole weekend had a lot of guys fought that were big prospects. We're going to get a couple guys from New York that were big prospects, of course. Andy Lee fought, Hertha, and then there's 2 guys from New York. Was Danny Green's another guy that's going to be challenging for a big-time title here.
Big stuff, and we're going backwards now. Francisco Rodriguez got a unanimous decision after 8 rounds over Robert Dalus. Also, light heavyweight sensation, and we're going to be hearing this guy's name for many years to come, Tavoris Cloud, fighting at 177. TKO victory in the 3rd round over Jacob Rodriguez.
Now, Tavoris Cloud actually had a little bit more trouble with this guy than I thought he was going to have.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of trouble getting the pressure that Rodriguez put on him.
Well, before that night, I had only seen him fight twice, and I'd only seen him fight a total of 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you put that up.
And having a bad night knocking the guy out in the third round is not bad. Tavoris Cloud, actually, he didn't look quite as cut as what I've seen him in the past.
I've seen him look absolutely starched.
So I don't know if he trained quite as hard for this fight. He weighed 177, and that's a little bit high for him as well. He's usually coming in at 170, usually in the lower 170s, and a little bit higher in weight here. But Tavoris Cloud is.
He carried it well, and he didn't look slow.
No, he didn't look slow. He did look like he had trouble with the pressure a little bit. Had trouble getting his man off him a little bit. To land the clean shot that we've seen him land quickly in the other couple fights, and this one only goes 3 rounds. Tavoris Cloud, we're looking for things. It's a bigger name in the future, and he's a bright star here in Chicago.
Can't wait to see some more Tavoris Cloud. We're going to see his name up in lights at Madison Square Garden within 2 years. You watch.
Yeah.
He's going to run the light heavyweight division, and if he's looking to put on some pounds, who knows? Maybe he's not going to hang out at light heavy forever.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's going to be the next heavyweight champion or anything, but maybe he's looking at a cruiserweight championship. Who knows? Who knows what he's going to do? He's got really fast hands. We love Tavoris Cloud.
Yeah, I just think the bigger names are at light heavy right now.
Oh, they happen to be. You're right. You're right about that. Francisco Tafoya got a unanimous decision after 4 rounds over Oscar De La Cruz. Also, Eric Estrada